On this week's episode of the Big Eyes Podcast, secrets are on the line in the newest chapter of Spy Family. Denji makes the block hot in the newest chapter of Chainsaw Man. And Seraph of the End. Oh my God. All this and more on the newest episode of the Big Eyes Podcast. Welcome this week's episode of the Big Eyes Podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Oh man, before I start, there's just something I would like to address because I see it a lot on social media and I don't know why. I mean, it's a constant thing that comes up, but I've seen it a lot this week, and it's this weird gatekeeping of like anime and manga. People being like, well, I got bullied in school but I was still a hardcore fan, and now you guys are new. Like, it's just this weird stuff. And it's like, bro, probably the reason why you were getting bullied for reading manga and watching anime is because you're doing weird stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you've been watching it for X amount of years or longer than a bunch of people does not make you better than, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's really weird. It's really weird that people do this weird gatekeeping stuff with it, especially for something that's supposed to be kind of for everybody. You know, that's part of the reason why I even started this show. It was just like, I want to introduce people to the world of manga, to the world of anime. And, that's why I didn't get bullied for it. So, I mean, shit. But nah, man, it was just, I've been seeing it a lot this week, and I just feel it's really weird. You know what I'm saying? Especially for something that's just like as small as like cartoons, bro. At the end of the day, it's just cartoons and just, that's all it really is. There's no reason for you to, sit there and put your stake in it. Like, cool, bro. You've been watching it since, 1982, you old, whatever. But like, you know what I'm saying? But remember, anime, manga, bro, it's for everybody. And the part of this show is for people to just get introduced to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had people hit me up and be like, yo, like, I've never watched it before, or I've never read manga before, but I heard your episode and, it sounds tight, sounds fun. So I started reading it and I started to get into like these things. So, man, so you know what? If you're listening to this and it's your first time and you're really not into manga yet, bruh, just check it out. Just check it out. Just read it, bruh. All that gatekeeping stuff is lame as hell. Don't be doing that, bruh. So that was just my 2 cents on it. Man, so let's get into these chapters. So this week, man, a lot of secrets, a lot of past connecting. There's just, this theme that is just going on in all these different chapters. So let's kick it off with the most wholesome manga I've been reading, Spy Family. Secrets are on the line right now. So right now where they're at is just chapter 19, and Lloyd and Yor, they're looking for a pet for Anya, and Lloyd, working for the spy agency, he hits up his people and he's just like, hey, we trying to get this dog. You trying to make this little guard dog. But Anya's not feeling them because they're these like big scary dogs. So they go to an adoption show, and, Lloyd is trying to work this mission simultaneously where he's actually trying to stop terrorists from using military animals or putting like bombs in animals. I don't know why, but he's trying to stop this. So he disappears for a moment. He's trying to find these culprits. He's talking to his people. So Yor has Anya. They're at the dog or at the pet adoption show. And, Anya runs off. She sees this big dog. She follows him. And she ends up getting in to some shit. Little kid Tyler shit. But, bigger shit. And she ends up getting kidnapped by this group. And it just so happens the same group that kidnaps her is the group that Lloyd is looking for. But since Lloyd is not in the area, he doesn't know what is currently going on. So Anya is missing. Yor starts freaking out. Yor is like, man, what's going on? What's going on? Like, Anya, where is she at? So, it starts getting interesting because really what they're creeping up to this point where Lloyd and Yor are actually may cross paths and secrets. You know, you gotta remember Lloyd's working for, Lloyd has a fake family. Like, this is a fake family for Lloyd. Because he's a spy and he's working a mission. So like, and Yor, she's an assassin. So, these two big secrets that they are keeping from each other right now. And we're kind of reaching this moment where they might cross paths in their line of work. And I'm kind of getting excited about it because, this is, things are getting interesting. So, Anya's kidnapped. The people who, the terrorists who are working on, putting these bombs and dogs and whatnot, they are the ones who actually catch her. She ends up escaping on this big dog, takes off. They're running. And Yor, they do a scene to Yor, and she can't find Anya, and it does a flashback to when she was watching TV. And it was talking about on the television, the reporter is talking about like kids are getting kidnapped and being forced into marriage. So in her head, she is thinking that Anya is about to get forced into marriage. She is losing it. And as Anya's escaping, Yor sees the big dog carrying Anya away from the guys, and Yor obviously goes and chases the dogs and whatnot. And she saves Anya. She knocks out the guys. She saves Anya, and it ends with this thing where she's yelling at the guys, just pretty much yelling at the terrorists, like, "You will not sell my daughter into marriage." It is funny because it's like, bro, she is completely off, but it's a moment though where I'm like, man, the chapter ends there, and I'm very excited for next chapter because I'm really waiting to see this moment where they cross paths, where her and Lloyd like kind of have to, explain to each other what's really going on. Anya, since she has the superpower, she can read other people's minds. She understands everything that's going on. She can read her mom's mind. She can read her dad's mind. She knows what is truly going on, and she's been keeping this secret. So to see this moment it's pretty fun. But Spy Family, man, is once again wholesome chapter, wholesome fun. Definitely still new. So if you're trying to get into something new, it's only chapter 19. So definitely go ahead, dig into it. Next up, Chainsaw Man chapter 53. So where we left off at with Chainsaw Man, Denji and Reese just had this battle. And remember, Reese was the bomb demon, and they had this battle. It ended with Denji defeating her, but Denji fell in love with her, so he's like, bro, let's just run away. Like, let's leave this life. Like, I don't want to do this like demon hunting stuff no more. I don't want to do any of this. And Reese, who was trained before she became a demon, was pretty much like a Russian assassin. So she was just like, bro, like, this is my life. Like, this is what I do. But no, so Denji comes back, goes back to being a demon hunter. He goes back to his group, and he was poised to go on the next mission until the block gets hot for him. They turn on the TV, and on national TV, they have him on there, and it's like, is the Chainsaw Man, is he on our side? Is he not on our side? And it kind of blows up the operation in a sense, because now all eyes are on Denji, all eyes are on him, and it makes it very tough. But we start to get to dig a little bit into his past, and we're finally figuring out like what makes his demons so important, and why the gun demon and all them, like why he is so sought out after from all the other devils and demons. And there's a moment where all the other demons were talking in his group, and they're like, do you guys remember when you died? And the angel demon was like, yes, I remember. And the last thing I heard before was a chainsaw revving. And then that's all they really kind of give us. But it's nice to finally start to figure out, like, okay, like what makes him so important? Because they were just like, everyone was just trying to kill him, or everybody was just after him. And we never really understood why, but we're starting to understand why. Like, okay, like this guy must be, he must mean serious business, or this thing, like, his, devil must be a big time when hell, because if the last thing you're hearing before you actually go to hell is a chainsaw ripping, like it gives us that slight hint, but it lets us know that okay, that he's a big deal though. So we get that moment. We finally started like to figure out his importance, which is cool. And at the end though, we get to a trio of brothers who are offered by the feds to kill Denji, to kill Chainsaw Demon. They're offered $2 million. And obviously these guys seem very powerful as they're talking and eating, and they're just like, yo, can we do it? And they're like, bro, we can't even die. We can't do this. So, you know, it's very funny because this chapter kind of reminds me of like if Quentin Tarantino wrote a manga chapter. Like this is what this chapter really reminded me of. It's like if he wrote a manga chapter, what would it look like? Now there was no N words in it, so it's not a full Tarantino chapter, but it, you know, the way it was written, the way it looks, it felt very Tarantino-ish. But it was a good chapter. I really enjoyed it. We're really trying to like starting to dig more into what, you know, Denji's like devil, like why is he so important? And that, I think that's something that I think a lot of people have been kind of waiting for, and you know, it's fun. It's starting to be fun. Last chapter, man, Seraph of the End. Woo! All right, I gotta take a moment with this one, bro. So, Seraph of the End. If you have not read Seraph of the End, I advise that you just pause this episode right here, read everything, and then then pick up on this episode again, because not because it's like any spoilers, but it's because it's just so damn good. Like, this is how good this damn manga is. Like, you know, for those who kind of want a little overview of it, it really follows this young man named Yu, and he's he's a human who is fighting vampires in this post-apocalyptic world. There's vampires, there's demons, there's humans, there's like they're fighting each other, they're fighting this war. There's just a lot of stuff going on, but I think the beauty of this manga is that there are no clear-cut bad guys and there's no clear-cut good guys. And I really enjoy that because, you know, I think that sometimes, you know, when I'm reading manga and stuff like that, it's cool to see kind of like, you know, you obviously know who the heroes are, you know, you obviously see who the villains are, and it's fun, but for me, it leaves kind of like this feeling of suspense, or this feeling of like, damn, what's gonna happen next? But this Wrath of the End, like, it gives you that. It gives you that like feeling of, bro, who's gonna cross who next? Who's gonna who's gonna do this? Like, oh shit, like, you know, it gives you those moments, and that's what I enjoy so much about it, is that it really gives you like these it keeps me on the edge of my seat, bro. Like there is so much that is going on, but it all connects. And so on this chapter 86, you see this moment where the people's past are starting to connect. So there's Mika, Yu, Gurren, and Mahiro. Those are some of the main characters in there, but you get this flashback of them kind of, you know, thousands of years ago, and you continue to, you see how all their past memories connect, and you see how Mika and Yu and Gurren and Mahiro, like how all intertwined their lives are, even though like it's been thousands of years, and all these they've had experiments done on them and whatnot, and you know, they're demons now, you know. So you start to see where their past is truly starting to connect, and they're in the midst of this really big battle. It's kind of like this final battle between, you know, vampires, demons, and humans. Like this final battle, and like really is important to, you know, who wins this, because like humanity and the world is truly on the line with all this. So, you know, in this chapter really kind of, it's a moment of like to breathe during this battle, because you kind of get this, like, you know, you're kind of doing a couple flashbacks. You get the Shinoa Squad, who is a team of humans who are, I guess you could say they're the good guys, but there's a team of humans that are, you know, they're like, they gather together like, all right, bro, like it's a moment of breath, like we got a plan, we have to save you. Like, what is going to be our next step? You know, you see kind of this face off of Mika, you, and versus Gurren, who has completely turned into a demon, and it ends with Demon Gurren attacking Mika and you, and it's kind of a moment that I was not expecting, but now that we are getting this, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what this battle looks like, because, you know, we really didn't know how powerful Gurren's demon was until he finally unleashes his power, and then you're just like, holy shit, like, you know, it gives you this mind-blowing like visual of just how, you know, now that he's fully taken over by this demon, like how much further ahead he is from everyone else around him. And, you know, it's, man, bro, so yeah, Seraph of the End, it is so good. Chapter 86 was really good, and it was crazy because like I said, it's a breather chapter. You know, we've had a lot of action this past chapter. Is, you know, this big battle going on. You see, you know, the first vampire fighting his brother, then you see Gurren fighting his friends, and you see all these things going on, and just even in this moment where they're kind of just like, all right, let's let you breathe. Let's let you kind of see what everybody else is doing, what their plan is. And then it ends you on this beautiful, like, all right, we're about to pick it right back up. We're about to speed right back up into it. And you get, so it ends with Demon Gurren attacking Mika and you as they're trying to escape so they can get back with their squad. Yeah, man. So those are the chapters of the week. Thank you guys once again so much. Once again, follow us at RNC Radio Live for all things RNC podcast, all that. Want to give a big shout out to my dogs X and Van. They have kicked off their comic book show, so I'm really happy for them. So check it out, called The Black Variant. You know, I'm really excited for them. I'm really happy to see what they're gonna do next, man. So once again, welcome to the family, guys. Welcome to the Legion of Doom. But yeah, man, this is this week's episode of the Big Eyes podcast. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in. Stay plus ultra. Peace.